football. Premier League is in full action at the moment. And this weekend, we've got the biggest game in England as far as people from Yorkshire are concerned, because it's the Yorkshire Derby with the best team in Yorkshire against the second best team in Yorkshire. Joining me from the second best team in Yorkshire is Shahid Ali from the Blades department. Assalamu alaikum, Shahid. How are you?
Walaikum salam. I'm good, but I think you meant the best team in Yorkshire because you're second best coming up this year from Championship.
Yeah, I know. We haven't forgiven you for what happened last season. You actually nicked our place.
Don't worry.
It was heartbreaking. Actually, it was
Don't
heartbreaking.
worry. Don't worry. The Blades will be arriving again.
Now, I think they've been pretty blunt this weekend. I think they've been blunt this season, haven't they?
They have. They have. They've had a slow start. I mean, obviously, we've had a few issues um, as compared to a few other teams, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, obviously, I think we'll talk a bit further. Leeds have had a really good start to the season. I mean, they done really well last season. To be honest, I'll be happy. I was happy to see your Leeds in the Premier League. It's getting a bit lonely up here, being one of the only side from Yorkshire
Oh yeah, no,
in
we
the
thought
Premier
you.
League.
Yeah, we thought we'd give you company, but I think it is good for football in Yorkshire because really,
It's
both
what it
sides.
is.
I mean, I love Sheffield United. I mean, I spent time down there with you guys in Sheffield a few years back, but
Yeah,
I think for Yorkshire football itself to have, Yorkshire is the biggest county in England, and not having a Premiership team, going back 2 years back, it was a bit disappointing, wasn't it? Really?
definitely, definitely. I mean, it's been a long time since we had Premier League football in Yorkshire, but yeah, it makes a massive difference. Massive difference. It's a different buzz altogether. Championship was good. I mean, we've come up from League One, so we know how it's been from League One to Premiership in 4 years. But it's it's one of those things that you don't get it until you're there, until you're in the ground, you're going outside the ground, you're in the town centre. It does wonders for businesses. It does wonders for uh, the game. It does wonders for local football, and there's a different buzz altogether.
I think the one of the things that if you look about what we've been talking about is you guys are lucky you got up last season. You've got fans. Leeds, 16 years of her. We've been waiting for this big day, and when we come, we got no opportunity to go and watch the game.
Yeah, it's very different. I mean, this is the first time in 6 months I've won the shirt. I'm just happy that you asked me to come on and talk about the football. I was just, I couldn't wait to get the shirt back on. It still fits, thankfully. Yeah, even though we put like 2 stones on probably during COVID, but it's different. Look, it's a different buzz. Yeah, when you're there, I mean, I mean, being season ticket holders, it it's a different buzz. But when you see the big teams, you see all the plastic fans come out as well. Yeah, you see, we had a real at Bramell Lane. We had a contingent of overseas Chinese fans who always seem to turn up for the big games,
Okay.
and they were busy taking photos. You see all the shenanigans before the start of the match. You see the photos being taken, the selfies being taken while the players were getting warmed up. Because I was, we were, we're sat more towards the away end where they warm up. So I mean, we found it absolutely hilarious at times what was going on. Because I knew the people that were there weren't there to watch and support Sheffield United in the home end. They were there to watch whoever it was, whether it be Man U or Liverpool. We had plenty of Bradford fans from Liverpool Bradford fans turn up to the match uh, in Sheffield.
When
I
did
think
you
there were a
fall?
lot.
When did you fall in love with the Blades?
Oh, to be honest with you, since I can remember, I mean, my first match was when I was 18. Um, I just started going to uni, and they were doing sort of weekday evening offers, so £5 a ticket it was. I remember
And
going to watch.
we this is never miss an opportunity for an
We,
offer, do we?
we never missed an opportunity. No, I went with a group of friends. I mean, you watch them on TV and stuff when you were kids growing up, and you took an interest. But I remember it was a midweek night match. It was a winter match, I sat up on the Bramell Lane upper tier, and it was Spackman was the manager, Nigel Spackman, and we had the likes of Jan Arge Fjortoft, Brian Dean up front, playing fantastic football at that time. But then they got sold a couple of weeks later. Yeah, both strikers went the same day, pretty much. Brian,
Did he come to us after that from that time?
yeah, Brian Dean went to Leeds, and Fjortoft went somewhere else. I forget where. But it was one of those. Since then I've been on and off watching him. I've been going regular for the last, I'd say, 8 seasons. Since they've been in League One, pretty much. I started when they were in Championship, dropped down to League One. I missed a season, then I started watching them again. Pretty much when just before Chris Wilder started, I've got a season ticket again because my kid was growing up as well. He was 5, so I had to try and get him involved to support the proper team.
Proper team. That's the thing. Question is, how many Asian blades do you have? How many people actually go? How many of your friends are fans? Not the glory hunters.
Not the glory hunters. With me, I take my son, my nephew, and my 2 cousins come. So there's 5 of us that go. I've got a good friend, Mr. Zaid Salim, who goes with a number of his family friends.
I know who that chap is. I need to get him on one of these nights as well.
Yeah. He's sports Villa these days.
Oh,
he's a big fan now. That's one of his sort of early teamy sports, I think. So, but anyway, he's a blade sporter. Then there are quite a few. They're dotted about. There's a number of them dotted about everywhere. There's a Leeds student that sits in front of us, a Pakistani student.
Mm-hmm.
I think he got the student deal was pretty good. I think it's about £200 for a student season ticket in the family stand. So that was well worth it. You're getting nearly 19 home games for 20 quid or 200 quid, nearly £10, £12 a match, and he gets to see all of them: Man U, Man City, Liverpool. He used to love it. Yeah, and plus, I think he was more happier that he was near us as well. So it's not as intimidating. And then we've got one of our own lads up in the director's box. He's got a director's box up there as well. So yeah, we've got we've got quite a few that go. We see quite a few dotted about on the way out, on the way in. I'd say personally, I know at least 25 Pakistani fans that go to watch the Blades.
25 Pakistanis who have lost their way and not gone for glory hunting. Yeah? And my question is always, where the hell these dousers, we call them, the Liverpool dousers, and you got the, these guys with prawn sandwiches. How come we watch these guys?
I never to be honest, I've never understood. I've understood. Okay, years ago, when we were growing up, and I'm over 40 now. Just before, probably when you're in your 45 and 50s, and you remember Liverpool with their candy tops on and with John Barnes and the likes. That was a different era, I'd say. But since then, the thing about supporting your local team is quite significant. But still, we have a lot of Asian young men supporting the likes of Liverpool, Man U, recently Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man City.
Yeah, it seems like it's the same more or less everywhere in Bradford. When they actually the Scousers won the Premiership, we had loads of them fighting. We actually almost, the Man U fans and Liverpool fans, supporters in Bradford, were fighting among themselves. And I think there was one chap who came out and he said a few things, but I don't want to repeat what he said about.
I don't get it. They've never been to a match though.
Yeah, exactly. They don't go to. They're all armchair supporters and sitting there. But one of the things, I fell in love with Leeds when I first game football that I watched on television was 1974 Charity Shield.
Wow.
Yeah, the old.
You're showing your age,
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, the old game between Bramell and Keegan decided to have a fight on the instead of the Charity Shield, they decided to call it the Fighting Shield.
You're not gonna have. I don't think you can get much fighting these days, are you? We saw it against in that PSG match last week, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we still get that.
Well,
I think that's more like WWE, doesn't it? One of these things these days. It's more
that was
handbags,
what,
isn't it?
they had five people sent off. I think they were in that match at the end.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Well, we've always had the tag as the dirty Leeds, and I mean, if you looked at Leeds this season or the last season, I know we played against each other in the Championship. Certainly, there's none of that dirty
Still a
stuff
rough
is going.
team. You're still a rough team. I mean, don't get me. You got rid of what's his name to where did he go now? Brentford.
Brentford, yes. The
What's
Swedish
his
lad,
name now?
Swedish lad, Johansson.
Yeah, the one that didn't want to give the goal
Yeah, he didn't want to give
away.
Aston Villa the goal.
So you got rid of him. I mean, obviously he went to better pastures, not. Um, but yeah, Leeds playing a fantastic brand of football. They've got to obviously tighten up at the back a bit. This is the thing in the Premiership. We last season we had a very strong defensive unit, but our attacking unit was our chances weren't that many. So we built up from the back. So first of all, we keep the goals out, and then we'll get the goal at the other end. And starting this season against Wolves, the first match, we saw straight away a lapse of concentration for 5 or 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes, I think we weren't at the blocks, but after that, we came back into it. We came on strong, and that was what.
How much is the difference? I was going to say, how much a difference has loss of being Dean Henderson to you?
I mean, the two of the goals that we've seen, one with Wolves and one with against Villa, I think Dean Henderson would have saved. That's how much of a difference.
Yeah, it's quality, wasn't it? The quality counts at the end of it.
I mean, I'm not saying that Ramsdale's a poor keeper, but he's not at the same level yet. I think I've seen a bit of nervousness in Ramsdale, in his keeper. I mean, he's pulled off some good saves against Wolves in the first match as well. But I don't think he's quite there. He needs a lot more work done on him in his positioning. If you see the way he let one of the goals in against Wolves and also against Villa, he could have taken a little step to his right before he dived and would have saved it. I think that's what, rather than just trying to go for a full length dive where he was. I think that was his mistake, but I think he'll come good. I mean, keepers aren't cheap. This is the one thing. A good keeper isn't cheap. They're very expensive. Dean Henderson, he always wanted to go back to Man U. His heart was set on being Man U's number one. If we'd asked to buy him right at the start, Man U would have probably sold him. When we were in the Championship, we would have got him for 5 to 10 million.
Yeah, it's a different ball game when you guys got in Premiership. Yeah. What would you say? I mean, do you think? I mean, you've got Arab owners, so you should be able to buy somebody like that. I don't know what the problem is.
I think we're a very poor team.
Yeah, we've got poor Arab in it. Leeds, people say about Man City owned by Arabs and PSG and everybody else, but when we got the Arabs, they were skint. I never come across them. Maybe they came over on camels or something, but we had the poor ones as well.
Oh, ours is a bog roll king, isn't he? So, bog rolls are cheap. You know that.
Yeah, we
know that. You can buy the big bags, especially up in Leeds and Bradford. You can get those big bags for about a couple of quid.
Yeah, we got all sorts of people coming out. Listen, people come all over the country to the Cannon Mill Sunday market for bog rolls there. They're becoming more of it. Yeah, we never run out of them when people were fighting over them with COVID back in March.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And they tend to, doesn't there? So they're that cheap. There's not much profit on them. So he's not making much. But no, one of the good things he's done, I think, has been that he's gave Sheffield United the direction. There were a lot of issues, obviously, with Kevin McCabe and the way they went about trying to take the club back over once they were getting back into Premier League, etc. I think the relationship was okay to an extent. but became fractious because the Prince is quite. He's a football enthusiast. He knows his stuff. He's got a good team in place. They're not frivolous with the money. They you know they're paying money within their means. And I think if we carry on with COVID like it is, there's going to be a lot of issues going forward. A lot of teams. You've seen a lot of teams build up a lot of debt. Sheffield United haven't. You know, he's had to take. One of the things that we forget, he's had to buy the ground, the hotel, the training ground off McCabe over the summer. Um, but he's mortgaged the assets to do that. So the ground belongs to the club rather than him as an owner, which is good. We've got a good team on board. We've got a good at the board level. We've got a good chief exec, and we've got a great manager.
Yeah, you
And
have
the
got a
coach.
good manager. I mean, I said to a friend of mine who's a big Leeds fan when we had Paul Higginbottom and all the other ones we had said, I said, you know what we really
Yeah,
actually need? We need a good manager, somebody who does that. And I said to him, once we get a class manager, and which we did, and I was watching some of the documentary on him, the Take Us Home, and he studied before he came to Leeds. He wanted to know everything about Leeds as a city, as a club, the people, and that's somebody. Since we had Don Revy, that's the first person who's come into the Leeds as a manager who's actually wants to take a lot into it rather than just. And you guys got Chris Wilder, whose heart is with Sheffield United, and he's probably
yeah.
got
I
everything.
mean, he's grown up as a fan. He's played for Sheffield United, and then he's had the opportunity to manage it. But he's come through the hard way. He's come through non-league and managing there, and then managing Oxford and the likes of Halifax. But every team he's managed, he's always improved. And then when he's come to Sheffield United, to be honest with you, not many people gave him any credit. And I remember those first few games where we lost and we were bottom of the table. I think it was 3 games, first 3 games we lost. And people were calling for his head again. But after that, I think we got a draw, and then after that, we never looked back.
Well, football fans can be
Uh,
quite fickle, can't they? I mean, they might have somebody
Very
who's,
simple.
2 3 games they lose and they want to call their head. If you go back to last season when Southampton lost 8-0 to Leicester City, lots of them were calling for his head, and he turned that team
Yeah.
around. And so you've got to give managers time. It just
Look,
isn't
managers.
overnight.
I mean, one of the things that people forget is a lot of these players that we've got playing for us still were with us in League One. So the likes of Chris Basham, um, we've got Baldock, we've got um, Norwood came along in the Championship. There's a number of players who came up from League One and Championship with us all the way. And a lot of these players were rejects. Like John Egan. John Egan came from I thought Brentford. Robert Fleck. Clear example. Robert Fleck came from Coventry. I think he came on a free. And the Coventry fans were absolutely saying he's rubbish. He's this. He's that. He's been one of our best midfielders. Give him a confidence. Give him a good role that they can excel in and watch him play.
Yeah, it
John
also,
Egan.
yeah, it depends on the management, doesn't it? When Leeds,
Yeah, of course.
Bielsa, same players more or less. He turned down in 2 seasons. They finished 14th at that time. Anyway, talking about let's get to the game on Sunday. Who shall we look out for from your side, and what score are you expecting? Are you expecting us to score a cricket score, or do you want a reasonable defeat?
To be honest with you, it's not going to be an easy match. Let's just put it this way, because we've always seen with Sheffield United that what if they have a defeat, they come, Wilder gets them going and they come out fighting. Um, that's a big thing for us. That's why we don't give up hope. We don't um, we don't look down. We're not too negative about our teams. I think one of the biggest thing for us at the minute is that Lys Mousset is injured. He's out for a while because he's had a foot operation or some toe operation. We haven't been able to get a striker in. I know the talks about Ryan Brewster and others. I think the young player from Arsenal. Money's limited. We know that as fans. To be honest with you, I'd rather they were quite. Wilder treats the club's money as his own money. He doesn't like to throw it. He doesn't want players there who don't want to be there. He wants players that want to come and excel. And I think that's one of the things that why he gets a lot out of his players. On Saturday, I think we're still going to go. He was talking about obviously John Egan's been sent off against Villa. I don't know how, but he was. Um, yeah, we seem to get the rub of the green against. We don't get seem to get the rub of the green against Villa. You know the goal last season.
That goal, yes, that kept them with that one single point, wasn't it? That made the
Yeah,
difference.
that was probably kept him up in Premier League, and then this sending off for our players, for John Egan, but their player didn't get set off for a clear foul. You know when it was there to shoot and score.
Right, you've done enough excuses for the Sunday now. That's enough now. I can't bear any more excuses. Come on, we're going to give you a thrashing on Sunday, so be prepared for it.
John Egan's going to be out. Ampadu's going to be in. Ampadu's, he's a good defender. We've seen that. He comes from good pedigree. We've seen him perform for Wales as well. So he came in and did well against Villa. I think we may go for a 4. I'm not too sure. I've got this feeling that we may go for a 4-5-1 formation or something, or 4-2, something different possibly. But it might still be the same, to be honest with you. We could go for a 3-5-1-1 like we normally do. The players look out for.
No matter what you're going to put out, we're going to win 4-3, and that's the end of the story. I shall see you on Sunday night after that.
4-3. To be honest with you, I don't know where we're going to score 3 goals from.
I know that's why. Well, I was being generous with 4-0.
sorry. I forgot. I don't know where we're going to score 4 goals from.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you could always put Billy Sharp on. He always scores against. He played for us. He couldn't score a goal.
Yeah,
he's gone back to you. He keeps going back to Alan Billy
Sharp's a very big backup player. We don't play to Billy Sharp's strengths, which is crosses into the box. I think we're trying to. We've got Oliver Birkin. He's not done much, whether it be for Leipzig or the team we got him from, West Brom. Yeah, but he did look fast against Villa. He may start. I hope he does start, actually. McGoldrick will probably start because he looked all right when he was playing. I don't know. The thing is, Leeds have started really well.
We've got good players. We've got Rodrigo, and we bought Koch, and we bought Lorente yesterday. So we've got a few new ones.
Is Clich the new player you've got?
No, it's Koch from Germany, German international.
You got his name?
Yeah, Clich has been there for about 2 seasons. He actually loaned him out before the previous manager didn't want to play him. He brought him back, so he's one of.
He's doing brilliantly. Don't get me wrong. He's in my fantasy football team. He's got me loads of points.
He's a good player. He's a good player. A Polish international, so we've got a good player.
Right, yeah, no, he's good. Thing is, you've got a good attacking unit. Even Bamford scored.
Bamford, yes, that's the man. He gets a lot of stick at Leeds. Unfortunately, he's one of those who gets so much.
Yeah, he's one of those.
I love the guy because I think he puts in so much effort.
Sometimes you have that face though that needs a stick. It deserves it. But no, you've got what's his name?
Jack Harrison. We've got Helder Costa. We've got some class acting there. We've got good players, and we've got
your midfield and forward lines really. You know what? It's very good. But you need to tighten up your defence.
Yeah. Well, we bought 2 of them, and we bought one Spanish left back yesterday. Centre back, left back, Lorente. But we need a keeper. We've got comedians, as far as I'm concerned. We've got poor keepers.
Who you got?
We've got Meslier, he's the French guy, and then Kiko Casilla, who couldn't get into the.
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, he's a bit faster.
The old Real Madrid player. But
why do you try and get Dean Henderson on loan?
I know, but Scum won't give him us to us. I'd rather not have a Scum player at Leeds.
It's like what's the team? Villa got, was it Martinez from Arsenal?
Yeah, they've got.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, there's a lot of good keepers, second and third keepers in some of the Premier League teams.
Yeah.
In a way. I just need a good home to go to, and Leeds a good home these days.
Leeds are
I think
superb.
I don't think it's not just the keeper; it's the defensive unit as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, if that does its job, then the keeper's job is made easier. Um, yeah, as we've seen in the last two seasons with Dean Henderson. Unfortunately, this year so far, we've seen the big hole that Dean Henderson's left, and Ramsdale will come good. I mean, okay, it was player of the season for Bournemouth. Bournemouth were very poor last year,
yeah, yeah.
so that I don't think that says much. But I think it is more of um we couldn't get goalkeepers from anywhere,
Right,
so
okay.
we've got
We're running out of time, so finally, give me one prediction. What's the score from your side?
I think it'll be 2-all.
2-0. Okay. 4-0 to us. I've got to stick to my 4-0s and 3-0s. You know, I've been predicting my cricket like that, so I'm doing the what's in Glenn McGrath in cricket, and in football, I'm
Okay.
just going to stick to. I think it's going to be 3-0 to us rather than 4. 3-0.
I mean, we really need to. To be honest with you, we've got Fulham coming up as well. We need to win both games to give ourselves a bit of a boost. But I think just a point with this game would be, I think we'd be happy with.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Best of luck for Sunday. And inshallah, if we're happy, if you're happy to talk to me on Sunday night after the game, you know, I'll probably
No
have
problem.
the above jalebi for you.
No problem. More than happy to
All
do
right.
so.
Thanks a lot.
No, thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
That is.